Hi Simon, how are
Hi,
you?
Josh. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the film today.
Pleasure.
So I wanted to kick off. I was quite surprised when I was looking back over the history of the franchise. You've now been playing this character since 2009.
Yeah,
So I was wondering, what is it like for you to be able to keep returning to this franchise, especially as it is such a beloved, iconic property by this point?
it's a delight. I'm very attached to Buck just because I love the character. I played him first the year my daughter was born, so I watched these films with her as she was growing up. So I have a special affection for Buck, and any chance I get to play him, I'm always really happy. And when I heard about they were doing a film called The Adventures of Buck Wild, I was thrilled.
Awesome. And you have played a lot of different action heroes in various films, from Sean to Benji to even Gary. So I was wondering, how do you think Buck compares to them in terms of how he deals with these high pressure, crazy scenarios he finds himself in?
I think Buck is probably the most capable of all. Maybe Benji might have him pipped just because Benji's sane. I think Buck has this kind of tenuous grip on reality, which is part of his charm. His daughter's a pumpkin, his babysitter's a cucumber. He speaks to skeletons, but he's so capable. Buck, he's utterly courageous. What he lacks in sanity, he makes up for in sheer kind of moral power. And he's a delight to play in that way. He's like the friend everybody needs.
Absolutely. And Buck, of course, he is a larger than life character, but he's also very small in stature, particularly in this Ice Age world. So, how much thought are you giving that when you're in the recording booth, bringing this character to life?
That's a good question. And one of the things, you always record the voice first in animation, as you know, and the animators then animate to your performance. But when I first played Buck way back in the day, I was given animatics of him and shown how he moves and how slithery he is and how his jaw sticks out. And I think you look at the picture that you get given and you start to form a characterization around the visuals. And he's such a kind of beautifully realized character. I mean, just to look at him, as you can see, I've got him with me now. It was very easy to find him, and I've loved playing him so much from the very first appearance through getting to sing Figaro with Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo for Collision Course, and now being in this new adventure. It's something I really look forward to.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you're aware, but Buck does have his own Wikipedia page, and that thing is really detailed. Like it took me a good while to remind myself going through last night. So I'm
Really?
curious you. Yeah, is that quite intimidating having that history, feeling like you need to remember it, or do you just know the character at this point, so it doesn't you don't really need to revisit that in some ways?
Yeah, I feel like I know Buck. I feel like I know how he would react. I don't know how much of anything Buck remembers anyway. There's his brain is a mystery to everybody, but it's lovely that he's kind of become a sort of part of the Ice Age universe and the dynasty of that such a sort of popular series of movies. There's a meme I saw of Buck, which is somebody's dog with a leaf over their eye, and it says, "If you don't know who this is, we can't be friends." And I was so thrilled to see that he's sort of become part of the cultural subconscious in that respect, in that regard.
Yeah, and one final quick question for you. Book of Boba Fett is obviously streaming at the moment, and there's a lot of talk about cameos. I know you've mentioned being interested in maybe playing a live action Dengar down the line. So, what are the odds you think maybe that happens maybe in this season or somewhere in the future?
Oh, not in this season, but yeah, you just never know. I've put many things out into the universe in the past, and they've oddly come back to me. So I occasionally throw out these little cultural boomerangs. We'll see.
Oh, well, fingers crossed. Well, Simon, thank you so much for your time. I had great fun with the film, and it's awesome to
Thank you,
speak to
buddy.
you again. Thanks so
Awesome. You
much.
too. Nice to see you. Take care.
You too.